Okay, so this is Ender6 that I have. I've done some modifications to it and we'll review it and we'll go over all the configuration that I've done to it. As you can see, it's located near my working area, so it's very important for me to be quiet, and I will be able to turn off all the fans of the printer and the Octoprint itself. Okay, so let's review the changes that I have done in the bottom part of the printer. So generally I have connected the micro USB cable here for the Octoprint. Let's try to connect it. Okay, so that's it. And it's going all up to the Raspberry Pi. Additional thing that I have done, I put a converter from 24 volt to 5 volt in order to operate the LED strip on the top. So the 24 volt is going through this model and then converted to 5 volt and going all the up to the upper side and to the enclosure. Additional thing that I've done, it's adding a relay, so I can turn on and turn off the printer via Octoprint, via Raspberry Pi. So this is the relay, it's going, all the control is going to the Octoprint. And additional thing that I've done, I put in here a high voltage to 5 volt converter in order to provide voltage to the relay. I didn't want to pull the voltage from the Raspberry Pi. It's about 180 milliamperes per relay, so it's a bit quite high. I didn't want to pull it from there, so I put it in here. So generally when the relay is off, the 24 volt power supply of the printer is off, and the only thing that is on is this module, and that's it. And once I turn it off, so everything is turned on. So once the printer is off, I don't have the fan noise. All the fans are off and everything here is off, so it's okay. 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 So now we're going to review the changes that I have done in the printer itself. First of all, I have printed the Z-Wobble holder, and this thing, it's useful to move the Z bed up and down. It's a bit useful. It's easy. And it's not interfering with the belt and the PT tube. Okay, so the next thing that I've done is changing the bed and changing the springs between the bed to silicone one. So this is here. So I change it. I don't see any difference in the performance, but I had those, so I changed it. Another thing that I've done is redesign completely the holder of the material. So the holder was constructed that way that the material was outside. I don't like, I usually print with ABS, and I like that ABS is inside the printer, so it's getting heated up and less vulnerable to moisture. So I redesigned it completely. It's built from two parts, and in this way when I'm putting the pool, so it will be in the middle. It will be held in the middle because of the two conuses. Additional thing that I've done, I moved the the material sensor inside and put it in an angle, so the material won't be would go easier to the PTIe. And then in here I have designed this part so the angle will be less steeper. So it's going up and into the extruder. So let's put it here. I will show you how I put it. So I just put it and it's coming in just fine. And then just pull it and it's fitting in here in the middle, nice and easy. I have a bearing inside, so the pool will can spin easily, and that's it. It can spin, it doesn't interfere to the bed. The bed can go up, it can go down. I have in here two options to bypass the material detector and the material detector switch, and not to bypass in current position. I'm bypassing it, but I used it in the previous setups. It doesn't interfere with the bed, and it's okay. Now we'll go up. So I positioned the camera in here. This is the best place that I found because I have an enclosure on the upper side, and this is the best place that I could find that it will be from one side it won't interfere to the printer, and from the other side I can't easily see what's happening. This is the yellow triangles, it's the enclosure fixtures. When we'll go over the enclosure, you will see how it holds the enclosure in place. I have redesigned all the belt, the belt is from AliExpress, but the holders for the belt here on the extruder, it's my design. I'm also using in BL Touch, and I changed the extruder to direct extruder. That's it for now. I have here the 5 volt from the 220 volt to 5 volt, 24 volt to 5 volt module from below the printer. That's it for the printer itself. I have the Raspberry Pi is located here. It's connected through the hole that the material was supposed to go inside, and it's connected here. Currently the connection is for the relay, for the board itself, for the camera, and there will be additional USB that's connected to the enclosure and controlling the LED strip. In addition, the Raspberry Pi is getting hot. It's getting around 70 degrees. So there are fans inside, but the fans are noisy. So I have set up in here a PWM control over the fans. So the fans are turned on only when we reach about 55 degrees, and they easily reduce the temperature of the Raspberry Pi. That's it for now. Okay, so the final part is we are going to review the enclosure, the upper enclosure. It's made of aluminum 2020 rails with polyglass or some other plastic that I connected to the rails itself. It's in here, and then I used just silicone to prevent from heat coming out in the gap between the printer and the enclosure. This is the triangles that go into the triangles on the printer itself. In addition, we have in here the Arduino screen. The Arduino is connected through the USB cable to the Raspberry Pi and can be controlled from it. The Arduino is doing mainly two things. Displaying on the OLED display the temperature inside the chamber. It has three probes of temperature. He's measuring all the temperature in them and averaging the temperature inside the boot, and also controlling the addressable LED. You have on the enclosure the addressable LED strip, and it can be controlled from the Raspberry Pi, sending command to the Arduino, and Arduino will control the addressable LED strip. This is the 5 volt for the addressable LED strip that's connected to the 5 volt connector on the printer itself. This is it. The next video will see the whole system together. Let's take a look the way that the printer is working. So this is the Octoprint, connected currently to the Raspberry Pi 4. This is the view from the camera as can be seen. The printer is currently off. Let's turn it. Okay, so we can hear the fans starting to work. The printer is turned on, and then we can connect it. Okay, first thing that it will do, it will calibrate the home position in all axes, and now it will calibrate with BL Touch and the Z axis. Okay, so to addition to all the things that Octoprint afford us, I have added this control. The upper control is printer control, so I can do, I don't know, heat bed, and then you can see that the bed will start heating to 80 degrees, and then I can of course cool bed and run the bed down. It's useful in cases where I want to, after the print, I want to lower the bed to be able to take the printed part out, or the bed itself. It can be useful. So it's going all the way down, and now we'll go over the light control. So the light control is the control of the addressable LEDs in the enclosure. It has several options. I can always turn red, it will be turned red, turn blue, turn green, turn white, and turn purple. It will just run a rainbow. The Arduino will control it. As long as I won't turn it off, it will keep generating rainbow colors. And I have additional setup that gives me the ability just to control the shadow that it's the shadow in the that it's generated by the printed part. It's useful for pretty pictures. I can run this like in this way. I can run left and right, left and right, and it will generate, it will light 3 LEDs, and will run them print and with Python control or serial control. I can control completely each one of the LEDs, of the 75 LEDs in the addressable LEDs strip. But in here I done only this. I think it's enough. Of course we can turn the printer off and it will be turned off. Temperature, you can see what we've done. Okay, so generally this is it. That's it. Okay, so the printer was turned off and you can see that it was disconnected. That's it. That's all my review. Thank you.